and welcome to another episode of the Edge of Analytics. My name is Maryann Werner, and today I'm sitting with Mike Gomez, who is a Senior Business Analyst here at CCG. He specializes mainly in business strategy and data governance. Today we're going to be diving into more about data governance and really more of the ROI that you can get from it and the benefits. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. So welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Maryann.
You're very welcome. So my knowledge of business analysts is you guys kind of wear a lot of hats. Mm-hmm. So can you give a little bit more detail into what's your background? What does your role look like day to day?
Okay. We do wear a lot of hats. So within CCG specifically, I work in the strategy practice. So the initiatives that we support are basically working with clients to establish roadmaps for platform modernization, okay. For data governance, mm-hmm. and also for data and analytics. Me personally, I've spent a lot of time working in the BI and data warehousing space. That's the most recent part of my career. Mm-hmm. Before that, I spent a lot of time in change management, organizational change management. So had some significant experience in that area. And within the last 11 years, I have had, the benefit of working in roles where I not only design and solution, mm-hmm. BI, solutions and reports and so forth, but also being there to support them once they go into production. So
wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's provided a lot of, it's kind of opened my eyes to the array of data quality issues you can have, and also the importance of having a good data governance program in place.
So you really touch a lot of different components of both back end and front end.
Right, absolutely.
Wow. So the one thing that I wanted to really focus on, and it's becoming more of a popular topic, which is data governance. Mm-hmm. So what are the different components of data governance?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there are a lot of methodologies out there. Mm-hmm. Here at CCG, we boil it down to 5 primary areas. So one being, data quality, metadata management, mm-hmm. Data security and privacy, mm-hmm. Data architecture, and then program management to tie it all together.
Oh, okay. And I know data quality is one that really affects the whole data governance structure as a whole, mm-hmm. But they really do work hand in hand. Why, in your opinion, is data quality so important?
Well, every organization deals with it, and we have a lot of clients that come to us because of data quality issues. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, warehouse and BI teams have to solve those problems, even though those problems aren't necessarily rooted in the data warehouse or within the BI team.
Okay.
And so the data warehouse team, can get the bad reputation for something that's really not outside of their control, but they're not the reasons for those issues. And so having a good data governance program helps to address those issues, working cross-functionally across the organization,
right.
To address them, at the point where they're occurring. And so any good data governance, solution, we try to emphasize to have a good data quality component to it.
Okay. And you touched on one thing, which is data governance and data quality don't just affect people in IT, but really anybody who interacts with the data. Can you speak a little bit more to that?
Sure. Data issues can come up any number of ways. A lot of times it's when a human interacts with an application.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and so a person may not be completing a field, or mm-hmm. the data is not complete, or it's not accurate, and that could be due to a number of things. It could be training. Somebody could be taking on a new role and they've never done this before. It could be a documentation issue or a procedure issue. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of reasons that it can happen, within an organization. So those are things that also have to be addressed within the data governance program. Yep.
And what advice would you give to someone who kind of is starting to feel the pain of not having good data quality in their organization?
Yeah. It's a good question, and it's a tough one to, it's tough for organizations to deal with it. Just in today's, the way businesses operate today, there's a lot of things that get thrown out of business and to organizations, and specifically IT departments.
Mm-hmm.
So you're dealing with regulatory issues. Organizations will go through mergers and acquisitions, downsizing, staff relocations, product launches, product changes, system implementation. So a lot of opportunity for data quality issues to arise.
Right.
And so it's not that you're not going to deal with them, you will. It's how effectively you can deal with them. That's easier said than done. Organizations, on the day-to-day basis, you have competing priorities. And so it's tough to add a data governance program on top of your day-to-day job.
Longer, right.
And so, it's a competing priority. So how do you do it? And really it boils down to an organization understanding what the importance is. Having an organization that will transition, go through that transition to where they understand the importance, they accept it, and then they champion the program. And then having the right people with the right authority and places to where they can evaluate the issues and affect change to correct them.
So if someone sees the importance of data quality, sees the importance of data governance, where would they start?
Everybody wants a quick win, right?
That's a good point. You're not wrong.
Everybody wants a quick win, so they want to see results quickly. So I would recommend that you pick an area where executive sponsorship is key.
Right.
So you want to pick an area where you have somebody that can influence the rest of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying start small, but pick an area where you can have success. A lot of times issues come up, fire drills, and those fire drills might be the reason for having a data governance initiative started. It's easy to get buy-in,
that's a good point.
In those situations. Specifically to data quality, you want to have a workflow and processes and procedures to log the data issues. Mm-hmm. You want to understand what it's impacting, and then you want to work with the data governance group to work across the organization to prioritize those, and then again affect others in the organization to do the work to correct those issues. So I think those are the main things.
And what would you say to people who think, you said the competing priorities before, what if they're like, this is just way too much to handle? Would you have any advice for people who? You have to break the issues down and really look at where what's important and understand the priority, and work with the within your organization and evaluate where's the time that's going to be spent, where is it going to be valuable. That's a good point.
Yeah, and so I think that's the key.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And one of the harder things to really break down for a lot of companies is what's the ROI. You mentioned before. Get the quick win. People want to start with the quick win, but data governance really boils down to more of a strategy, a strategy component. So where can companies say this is really the ROI that I'm getting out of this initiative?
Yeah, and I think that's where maybe working with an outside group. If you have competing priorities, you get somebody that can help you, that can be dedicated to that. That has the experience in that space to help you evaluate your current state. Every organization's different. One data governance and data quality solution is not going to work for another one. Mm-hmm. Put a plan in place, a solution, and then also look at the organization and see in terms of the people, what training, communication, org alignment, maybe job redefinition. Needs to take place.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And so I think some of the the ROI that somebody will get out of putting a program in place is obviously you're eliminating the data quality issues. The second thing is hopefully by doing that and you're doing it more quickly, you're freeing up your resources to put forth those solutions that are kind of blocked or on the back burner or stuck because of these problems. So you're delivering the solutions that your organization has been waiting for. I think the third thing is you're kind of conditioning the organization to deal with these problems, and so hopefully you get better at it across
proactive approach.
Right, proactive, right, putting more rigor, in design and requirements on applications, not only to avoid data quality issues, but maybe other things that are impacting the org. And then I think the last thing is that once you have good quality data, you can elevate your other capabilities, such as the advanced analytics, machine learning.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And then, you providing the insights that you're really after, to gain an edge.
Wow. Well, that was very impactful. Thank you for sitting down with us and
no problem.
kind of walking through difference between data quality and how it affects data governance. So thanks for letting me pick your brain a little bit.
No problem.
And thank you all so much for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Bye, everyone.